Welcome everybody to join this conversation on Enhanced Life Skill Platform, Be My Guest series, wherein we welcome empowered people to inspire others with their inspiring stories. Hi, I'm Premsai, a life skill coach, very excited to welcome Mr. Manohar Gandhi, a software lead by profession and an author of his upcoming book, My Sleepless Nights, a story of victory over insomnia. Hi Manohar.
Hi, Prem Sai, and I'm really honored to be part of this meeting. Uh, yeah.
So Manohar, you have already, have written your first book. So can you just tell our viewers something about that particular book, which I know that the name of the book is Virtual Volunteer. Social distancing does not mean social isolation. My experience of volunteering. So how did you all start about that particular book? And if you can just, share some of your experience of writing that particular book.
Sure. Thank you. Like you told, the Virtual Volunteer is my first book. And then actually, okay, let me give the background of how I started into volunteering. So previously, back in 2019, I believe, I watched a TED talk wherein the synopsis of the talk is be a giver in some or the other way. Okay. So I have a habit of watching TED talks. So I just took that information but never put it into application. But then one day, one of my colleague shared a WhatsApp status about a program called Speak Out. Speak Out is a program which is organized by an NGO called Team Everest NGO. The program mainly does is what it does is it is designed to improve the communication skills of BSc, BCom graduates who are not from a English background. So basically they are from Tamil background. So they want to improve the English conversational skills. So what happens is the volunteer has to correct the answers which are given by the students. So the questions will be very simple, like what you will see in general usage. Okay, so I was dash doing something like that. So the volunteer has the answer sheet. The only what he has to do is he has to just ensure that whatever the student is writing, he needs to ensure that they are writing it correctly. And then plus on the top of it, we give a regular homework. Okay, the regular homework is something like write your favorite movie story and then describe it. So then what happens is movies is a very interesting and thing which everyone will connect, right? So then when the student writes about the story, then he writes the story and then he tries to describe the story. So all this program is interested in is a practice of English language. So like we have this saying like practice makes a man perfect. So and then practice when you are doing with a supervised guidance is more enhancing, right? So for that reason, this program is beautifully developed, wherein it is a 40 days program, wherein, for example, you and I take this program, I mean, are volunteering. So you would be doing the call on Monday, I'll be doing it on Tuesday. So like this for 40 days, it goes on with every day the student has to solve the exercises, and then also he has a 5 minute talk. So the topics are really not that difficult. So like I told, movie, so or write a letter to your principal regarding some problem which you are facing. Like for example, you are facing some issue with the way some noise is coming from the background when the repair work is going on in the college. So this is like you give hypothetical scenarios. Once you give a hypothetical scenarios, and then you start giving more and more practice. So that is the most important thing. So yeah, so for example, some questions was you give the answer, that what is the probable question for which you give the answer. So this is like you are checking the level of improvement. So actually when I did this, for sure that when you practice for 40 days, I wouldn't say that you would become a super in that, but for sure you will see some improvement. So I have noticed I've done 3 times the speak out session, and in every batch, whenever I have done, at the 40th day, the student was definitely better than what he started off.
Mm-hmm.
So like we know that practice is a substitute for improving. So
You were the mentor for this program.
yeah, I was the mentor. So I did this for 2 sessions in 2019, and in 2020, recently I did it. I completed it on December 10th. Okay, coming to my virtual volunteer book. So this book is all about another program which is called Be a Mentor. So Be a Mentor program is like it is a 15-day program.
Mm-hmm.
So the topics are on various kinds of things. For example, what are the inspirational stories you've read? What are the skills which you need to learn beyond your academics? So for example, yeah, we know that all our academics is about cramming whatever the information that, so it shouldn't be an information dump, right?
Right.
So that is how, like, how you should improve on your public speaking skills. What are the things that people look for an interview? So I could really help in, because I have taken interviews. I know what is on the other side. So I have taken interviews. So if I take your interview, I know like whether you're bluffing or what are the things which I really need. So for example, I'll just give a very simple scenario wherein I took an interview wherein they were not able to answer what are the final year project which the student has done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just told this part wherein don't bluff. Whatever is there, right. And then try to have a unique selling point. Okay. So for example, if you see, you go to a supermarket and then, okay, what is your favorite, what is the coconut hair oil brand you use, Prem Sai? If you don't mind me asking.
Actually do not use coconut for hair. I use
Okay.
a combination of Ayurveda oil,
Okay.
take that
Okay.
as an example. And
Okay. So maybe can I know like why you use that?
I have been following Ayurveda for quite many years, Manohar. So that kind of, resonates and suits me. So I have been using
Okay.
many years. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically you have a selling point for which you are buying a product. So that's what I was trying to explain then.
Yeah.
Right. So when you are in an interview, it's all about, you have to have a unique selling point. So you can't be just like doing just your academics, trying to bluff something. So you should have your unique selling points. So I was telling them, so for example, in one of the mentor session 2, she was a computer science background.
Mm-hmm.
And then she told me that I'm able to solve all the problems, whatever is given in the academics. Mm-hmm. But I told her that wouldn't be suffice, because see, you have to stand out from the crowd. When you want to stand out from the crowd, you have to have a unique selling point. So those kinds of things I have taught. So basically this book, the first book, Virtual Volunteer, is completely all my experiences that I have put, whatever I have done in this mentoring. So the best thing was when I was talking about a story about my failure, the student was immediately recollected to her failure and how she improved on the failure. So
Okay.
that is what is Be a Mentor, Virtual Volunteer. It's all about my experiences of mentoring. And then also at the end, I have tried to tell what are the benefits of volunteering. So for example, like you are a life coach and you might be using this wheel of life thing, right? Wherein life is divided into 8 quadrants. And then what quadrant will get improved. So for example, what can I immediately think of is your social connections will definitely improve when you do volunteering, because you have to talk with someone different, right? Then which immediately comes to mind is finance. So it looks very weird that I talk about finance, but see, for example, how people are able to manage with so little, so for example, what I wrote in this book is how Team Everest NGO with so limited budget is managing to uplift the education sector. So that I really got to know. So with the power of volunteers, so they have approximately 10,000 volunteers and multiple programs run. So one is Tell a Story, wherein you can tell a story to a small kids of the 5th and 6th grade students. So it's a moral story kind of a thing. So multiple things will happen like that. So I really understood like how they are able to work on the finance with shoestring budgets. So yeah, and even like you would be knowing the Maslow hierarchy.
Yeah,
So
yes.
wherein everyone would be going up the pyramid. So up the pyramid, you strive to go up the pyramid, and how volunteering helps in moving up the pyramid. So that is what I have written.
So
So
I
yeah,
basically you have taken all the bestest of the real time situations and put it in this book, Manohar. And so what I could make it out is I think the freshers or I think anybody would get help from particular this book, how to be a great communicator, and
yes.
add a dose of their own flavor to make it unique,
Correct.
right?
Yes, that is the best thing. Yes, yes.
Best part of this particular book. So I
Yeah.
congratulate you, Manohar, for this, writing this particular book, and I would request the viewers to just give it a try and read this book, so that because these are the real-time examples that Manohar has has mentioned over there, and with the real-time students that he has mentored in his journey. And I think I would also, I've just started actually, not have completed that, so would
Okay.
take a little more time for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. And so, Manohar, coming to your upcoming book, if you can just share some your experience about it, insomnia. So how did it all begin? And I mean, and the cover page is, I must say, it is so good, so good. I think your wife has sketched it, right? So
Yes.
she has done an amazing work. So can you just tell something about how did it all started, and how come I mean, did you realize that you are sipping into that particular space of insomnia? And if you can just start
Okay. Yeah.
from
Sure.
starting.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Okay. So it's a very big thing. Okay. Let me put it this way. So all my through my childhood, I have been someone a conformist. So
Okay.
school mein you have to be the topper. So all my life I have been like that. So you should be getting into the top colleges of Hyderabad, something like that. So how I was there is like get a software job, something like that. So 2 years back I had some issues, personal issues, and then after that what happened was I thought that I should become real big. Okay, real big. So that is what happened, wherein I started reading self-help books.
So
So
really big means what? If I mean, if you can just be a little.
famous, very famous,
Okay.
very famous, like something like that. It was a craze. I could say that, something like that. So I read a lot of self-help books. So and then see, like like all it's all information download, but if you don't apply anything, nothing changes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
200%.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So what I started was initially I started. So I used to start at 10:30. Okay, once my kid goes to sleep, I used to start at 10:30 and started reading for approximately half an hour to 45 minutes. Okay. So first I started like that. So that started that what used to happen is book was incomplete. Okay.
Okay.
So I thought I would go to sleep as I realized that time was 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't go to sleep because my all my mind was thinking is what is there in the book.
Okay.
So I kept, yeah, what is next? What's next? So that suspense was really keeping me awake. So I was tossing on the bed, something like that. And then I felt like it's waste of tossing on the bed. Rather, uh, complete the book. Okay, so I used to go and then just start reading. So, like they say, like there are no free lunches.
True.
So that became an obsession. Okay, so for example, there was a day wherein I had to go to a movie and then the movie ended at 11 o'clock. So the general psychology is the movie has ended, you just brush your teeth or whatever, and then just go to sleep. But my psychology, because I went into that obsession, even though it was late, I had to read that book. Read any book, okay? Read any book. And then I was like ordering books like crazy.
So you were
From Amazon.
complete that particular book which you had left it halfway.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Or take any new book. So
Oh,
I
even
wouldn't go to, yeah, I wouldn't even go to sleep if I hadn't read a book. Okay.
Oh,
So I had gone into that level of obsession. So I could say that in that month wherein I went into obsession, I completed almost 10 to 15 books, 10 books. Okay. So that was the level of obsession I had gone into. And then what happened was, like I told in the initial part, like I watched TED Talks. So there was one TED Talk wherein the speaker basically says that sleep is not a liability. Sleep is an investment. Okay. And then he explains why sleep is very important, because you have to balance your autonomous nervous system. So basically there is something called a sympathetic nervous system, and then there is a parasympathetic nervous system. So you have to balance both of them. So life is all about being in balance, right? So that came as a shock to me. Okay. So then I thought of stopping it. So though at 10:30 I went, I didn't start reading it, but still my mind was what is there
to that
in
reading
book.
mode. Okay.
Yeah, in that mode. So I had to break that habit. But like, like the Newton's first law says, any object stays in motion unless any external force comes into picture. So then I was thinking, what is there? Just take a simple sleeping pill and everything would get right. That was my thinking. But then you can't go to a medical shop and then say, give me a sleeping pill. So you need a doctor prescription.
Yeah, true.
So then I searched Practo website. So you might be knowing Practo is a website which connects the doctors and the patients. So the funny thing is, I wanted to meet a psychiatrist who could give me clinical advice. But then I searched for a psychologist.
Okay.
And then I met this person called Karthik Madugala. So he is a psychologist. So he is also a person like if you read from his website karthikmadugala.com. So he's a person. He was an IITian, like the reputed, the best. He worked in Australia, and then you see, right? You be a conformist, and then deep down he didn't want to be that. And then he went into depression for more than a year, and then how he came back. So when I read his story, like I thought that I should connect with him, because see, the thing is, you are an IITian and then you turned into a psychologist. So that was the best connecting point.
Okay, so Manohar, can you just give me an idea about what is the difference between, you said psychiatrist and then you landed up with seeking a psychologist.
Yes.
So is there a difference between these two? I think psychiatrists are they prescribe medications, or what? I mean, if you can just
yes, yeah. So like I told, I also didn't knew, and after till I came out of insomnia. So psychiatrist is someone like you do your MBBS, right? So after your MBBS, you can do some kind of specialization.
Okay.
So for example, heart is called as a cardiologist. If you come to the digestion, it's called as gastroenterologist, something like that.
Okay.
So if you work on your mind, those kinds of things, and who are they are called psychiatrists, and then they can give you clinical. They are certified to treat people. So they can give you prescribed medicines.
Okay.
Whereas psychologist is someone like he just studies on these life sciences, and then he is like kind of understanding your life patterns, and so this is a kind of a subject altogether.
Counseling? Is it a counseling?
Yeah, it's a counseling. Okay. So how you can become a counselor. So psychologist is a counselor, you can say.
Okay.
So I met a counselor. So And then when I told him this, he suggested things like how I should be in a balance, how I should do a lot of things. So all these things I've described in my book, which is going to release on January the 1st.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so this is my plan. So how I went into this and what are the practices I followed uh, to come back,
Okay.
to come into normal thing. So this is all about the things.
So when like what are the discomfort that you went through, or maybe I would ask in two different perspective, Manohar. Definitely when you do not because I have also experienced at times that when too much of things are there in your head, you don't get sleep, right?
Okay.
And even in my life also, that's how I came into this yoga, to become a yoga practitioner. So I also had that similar kind of experiences long back in 2012, 11, I would say. So I would here ask you, this is like, how was your that, I would say the discomfort journey, and does it affect also the family members, and in what way? I mean, if you can just, give a little more idea about the
Sure.
detailing about, like, on a at least on a daily basis, what are the things that you suffered a lot, which made you to go
Yeah.
to a psychologist?
Yeah, sure. So, okay, I was surprised. Yeah, I can now tell many things which happened. So the first thing is if you really learn into this scientific thing,
Mm-hmm.
our brain when it faces stress. So okay, let me put it this way: the brain's main purpose is you to survive. That is the first and the foremost duty of your brain. Okay,
Okay.
so when you are in stress, your brain is in fight or flight mode. This is what they call. So and then or freeze. Okay, so what happens is you are like basically pumping lot of chemicals. So if you really go in a very deep thing, so the our cortisol levels really spike up.
Okay.
So when the cortisol level spikes up, so what the brain does is it will really think for you to survive, what is the thing that is needed. So the
So,
first thing what
right, the stress hormone, call
yeah,
it.
it's the stress hormone.
Mm-hmm.
So what it does is it just the first thing which happened was I was shedding a lot of hair. Okay, so
Oh,
every day in the morning, beside my bed, my if you see, there were bunch of hairs, like lot of fallen hair. So
okay.
whenever we used to sweep the house, at the bed there were really bunch of hair. So my hair also became very thin. So like that I used to happen, and then I had difficulty digesting the food also.
Mm-hmm.
So though I regularly eat at home, not much of a junk food eater,
Mm-hmm.
but I had a lot of trouble digesting the food.
Okay.
So those kinds of issues. And apart from that, like if you don't sleep, you are kind of a very disturbed. So it happens. So those things happen in my professional life and also in my personal life. So all the disturbances happened at every point.
So it
So
started showing up on your physiological
yes, yes,
existence.
on the physiology also, correct.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So, so basically, was it a irritable kind of mind that you were having? You said that you were
Yeah,
having some issues in
yeah,
the office as well.
yeah. So, like to be, if you really ask my colleagues, like, did you really see him that way?
Hmm.
They wouldn't see, but they wouldn't really notice it because see, like right now, it was very easy because I was bluffing that nothing is going wrong. But then deep down, you know what is the thing.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Everybody knows what's going on, within them.
Yeah.
That is
So
true.
that was what it was happening.
Family cope up with this when you were going through all this.
Yeah. So yeah, my daughter is very young. She's just 6 years. She doesn't know a lot of things, but I can say my wife really had a tough time
Mm-hmm.
because she she didn't know whether she should scold me or whether she should really encourage me or support me, because she knew that I was going into an obsession. So she tried me to stop, but then that didn't work. She tried this way of consoling, but seriously, that was also not working, because obsession has to be broken somehow. So that is where I met a counselor, and with the help of counselor, I'm not saying that to discredit her, but she really supported me a lot, I would say. But then the counselor really brought me back with a lot of things.
So you're talking about Karthik.
Yeah, Karthik, yes.
Okay. So basically, the pattern of the mind was being broken by, with the conversation with him, right? That's what.
Correct. So, like I was telling, an external force is needed to change the motion. So, the thinking process also needs to be done with a counselor. But um, yeah, so I when I was reading this, like you have also written a lot of blogs. I've seen your blogs on mental health issues, wherein you talk on how people are really going into mental health, these kinds of things. And I came to know that you are doing coaching also for people who are having these issues. Maybe could you describe more about that?
Yeah, so basically, I have, in this pandemic, see, it's like even if you are a doctor, doesn't mean that you will not fall sick. Very interesting things happened with me when it started with March. Then it was, I think everybody would resonate with me that, okay, yippee, it's a no work time kind of thing, no? March when the lockdown started, everything was at a pause, and we don't know what is going to happen. So March, April, thank God, no work with family and all that. And then after that, there is a zone which came like, oh, I love my family, but the office. That zone, I think everybody would have gone through that. So even the same thing happened with me as well, a little up and down in my state of mind. And a few days it was too overwhelming, what to do, what not to do, and all that. So there I started, because I believe in one thing, Manohar, and I also practice that is whatever you are missing, you start giving it back to the society, or to, so that you start getting it back. So I did the
Oh,
same thing, I started putting in all my like social media and websites, that because it was there deep down in my subconscious that one day I will also, move into that space of one-on-one coaching and helping people. And I think in your office when we met, in the workshop I conducted at your office, there were many people who suggested that Premsa, don't stop yourself into this zone and go and out and help. I thought pandemic this time was the best time, so I started talking about it with others. And then on and off I started, understanding others challenges, and started helping them, asking the right questions so that they can break their pattern of thinking, like,
yes.
which bothers us. So, and entering into the core belief system. And like one question which would really make you to pause a little to answer that, who are you without your limiting beliefs? So this is something which you cannot answer immediately, you have to think. So yeah, so that's how I started, the journey of coaching one-on-one, and that's how I stepped into this particular uh, uh, coaching space. So yeah, so coming back to your book, a few questions which is again coming to my mind um, is there a standard a number of hours a person should sleep? And what about children? We say, because I have read many articles here in Google. um they say that 8 to 9 hours to hona hi chahiye, or 12 hours.
Okay.
But in yoga practices, being a yoga practitioner, they say a different version of
Correct.
sleep. So what exactly is your experience uh,
Okay.
with this insomnia thing?
Okay. Okay. Okay, I like to put it this way. Like I also read this scientific studies, like wherein they say uh, you have to sleep 8 hours and those kinds of things. Okay, so I think the answer which I also had this same question, Premsai, like, and I asked my counselor Karthik the same thing. So the thing what he said to me is there's a very beautiful quote by Einstein wherein he says, I believe in standardizing automobiles, not human beings. Okay. So every scientific study has its own limitations. So for example, you would see opinion polls at the end of your elections. So sometimes they get it right, sometimes it's like way off the margin.
Hmm.
So every scientific study is done on a set of maybe 1,000 or 10,000 people. But if you really see this probability that, okay, for example, let's say a probability that another Prem Sai exists is 1 in 400 billion, right?
Hmm.
So that is what they say. So so if you see my thing, what Manohar is there and what Premsa is there, if I say that okay, I'm a really a superior authority, let's say, and then I say that 8 hours is must, but then you are not Manohar, you are Premsa, so your circumstances are totally different to mine, and my circumstances are totally different. So the answer which my psychologist really gave me is, if you really go to sleep and then you wake up refreshed
Hmm.
without feeling any grogginess, okay, throughout the day, that's it. So that is what matters. So for example, for few people it can be even in 1 hour they could do it. So and he even like you told in yoga practices, I have read this book by Sadhguru,
Inner engineer.
Inner Engineering. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've seen his interview wherein he says that he sleeps only for 2 or 3 hours, for example, if I recollect correctly. So so that is where, so I think quantitatively specifying that X amount of hours, I don't think is really correct. So it should totally be like, if you go to sleep and then you wake up refreshed, that is the most important thing. And then the other thing which my counselor even told me is, if you, okay, the very beautiful thing what he told is, there is a mind and there is a body. So for example, you don't go to sleep today and tomorrow, okay, but then your body actually, your mind also needs sleep. I'm not saying that mind doesn't need sleep. Mind needs sleep to flush out all the toxins and all this, but the requirement is more to the body, because your body needs to do a lot of things, like it needs to throw away your dead cells, the dead blood cells and all those things. So body really has the intelligence to shut off the mind. Okay, so if you are really thinking that I'm not sleeping, I'm going into this state of some abnormality and all those things, but his thing was like, a body really has that power and capability to shut off the mind. So that really happened in my case also. So that I have really described in the book in a
Okay.
chapter also,
Hmm.
wherein out of nowhere, from that worried state, I went into a state wherein I slept at night 9:30 and woke up the next day morning at 9 o'clock. So that is how what it happened. So like, so the thing is, I like to tell one very small story.
Yeah.
So imagine, I've read it in the internet somewhere. So I think it's the story of given by Gautam Buddha, I think. Okay. So what he says is, how, so what is the natural state of human mind? That's what it says.
Okay.
So what he says is, he takes the disciple to a river and he asks to throw a stone. The disciple throws the stone. So the water becomes really turbulent.
Hmm.
Okay, because you have thrown a stone, you have disturbed the
Be there.
normal thing. Okay. But then he says, wait for some time. And then what asks to see what happens. And then the water comes back to its natural state, which is normal state. So that is what the thing is. Everyone, when you really go into your inner deep, it's in a state of a peace.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah. So there is a beautiful TED talk, living inside out.
Mm.
So yeah, I would recommend if anyone wants to view that. So the speaker clearly shows like what he went through and how really, rather than searching outside for something, searching inside really brings you to a state of
Calmness. Mm.
equanimity and calmness, like
Yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah.
So that is what I would say.
Yeah, so you pointed out this inner engineering. Actually, I have gone through this inner engineering course with Isha, and it is a wonderful course. And I would, even in my experience, I used to sleep around, say, 10 hours or so. But after, coming into this yoga zone of practicing and doing Shambhavi and, doing yoga and all that, and even I did Vipassana meditation as well. So my
Very good.
yeah, so my quality of sleep came down to around, I think, 5 to 6 hours max to max, and after that, you will think about that. What do I need to do with this energies that is left out? You know, that's what happened with me, Manohar, and then that's how this mylifepetals.com, the blog which I sketched, I painted a lot, so that
Oh.
was born because of the energy bubbling. So you need a
Oh.
platform to channelize those
Yeah,
energies.
yeah. Mhm.
So that's how it is, and wonderfully articulated, and you have explained it so well that how um, we cannot quantify rather the sleep, but the
Yes.
quality matters a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So very, very truly said. So who were your inspiration, Manohar, while when you were recovering, and at the same time, if you can also talk about, and thank you so much, because you have also mentioned my name in your book for the conversation
Yeah.
we had. So please talk
Yeah.
about the inspiration that have inspired the environment, your wife, or whoever, like whoever were there who supported you, helped you, inspired you. And also, if you can throw some light about our discussion, the way we met, and how did it all, impacted to who you are today. And now we are discussing about the book
Okay.
that
Okay. Okay.
would helped many people. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Yeah. So, like, there are multiple people who from whom I got inspired, but first and foremost, I would like to really mention my co-partner in my life journey. So, without whom it would have been really, really a nightmare. So, so after that, if
Yeah, yeah.
I would say it would have been Karthik, my
Hmm.
counselor,
Hmm.
and then I would talk about the practice which I really followed, which I have written in the book.
Hmm.
So about that, so without really, so also came to this practice after watching a lot of online courses and then reading it from internet and all those things. So yeah, so that is about the people who have inspired. So the list really goes on and on and on. So I really cannot say like really how many people have inspired. And coming to the thing which you mentioned, wherein I had an interaction with you, like yeah, so like you came to our office to give a corporate session wherein I believe you told in the positivity of the time was limited because you know like the time given to carry out any corporate soft skills program is really limited, wherein you have to do this thing. But then you told this part like you are an LLP practitioner, and then if really given a chance, I would show right now that if you are really having a limiting belief, I could really show that there are really no limiting beliefs. It's all in the mind. Okay, you told this thing. So then I really connected with that. So I was really going through a very obsessive phase, and then I had an interaction with you about a practice which I had started, which I have mentioned in the book. So I really wanted to know when will that practice really show me results. And then the answer you gave me was really beautiful, and then that reinforced my opinion on how I should really continue that practice and how I could come back to normal. So that is what I can tell about, because I don't want to reveal that suspense.
Suspense, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, because a human mind always conclude, that's what
Hmm.
is the main thing. We stop the practice and start analyzing,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So I think that you didn't do, and you continued the practice
Yeah.
to let it manifest and organically
Correct.
and
Correct.
naturally, and then today you
Yeah.
have written a book. So that's
Yeah.
wonderful and that's great. And one more question now, which is coming out from this is, does this nutrition or diet also plays a role, in our sleeping patterns, or the quality of sleep? And apart from diet and nutrition, if you can also give an idea about, um, because you said quality of sleep, so will that even work, that a person says that I can hit the bed by midnight, and maybe after 2 o'clock or 2 a.m., and still be active, functioning optimally? Like, does this also impact the quality of sleep patterns? So this two questions I'm asking together.
Mhm.
So about the diet and nutrition, and if a person says, because you have seen, Manohar, the youngsters,
Mhm.
I have done a lot of sessions, in this pandemic also. I've done a webinar with a college. One guy said that, madam, नींद नहीं आती है. So जल्दी सो जाते हैं, bed चले जाते हैं, but नींद नहीं आती है. Then when I started asking few more questions, he was revealing that he was taking his laptop with him on the bed, and then he was, into the Netflix web series mode.
Correct. Correct.
So I somehow, I told him the effect of what happens in your brain when you
Correct.
sit in front of a screen which emits a lot of light. So
Correct.
my question is, when these youngsters, they debate and they ask, they rather argue, they come to a point wherein they say, uh, 6 hours सोना है ना, तो ठीक है. They're very calculative, you understood what I'm saying.
Mhm. Mhm.
Say,
Yeah.
around 8 o'clock is the time. So does our body function and also supports these kind of timetable as well, or these kind of lifestyle as well? So what do you think about this,
Okay.
and also the diet and nutrition?
Okay, so I'll first quickly tell about the diet and nutrition. From what limited knowledge I have about diet and nutrition, see, if anything which you take in needs energy. Okay, so you consume a food, it needs energy for digestion. Okay, so if you have food which takes lot of energy, so for digestion, so okay, so then the quality of sleep also will get impacted, because like when your stomach is really taking all the energy, and then but you want to sleep is a state of deep relaxation,
Okay,
but then
talking about taking the energy means the body is taking the energy to digest the food.
correct, correct. Yes, I
Okay.
mean that.
Mhm.
So sleep is a state of deep relaxation. But then if your body is taking lot of energy to digest the food, then the quality of sleep also affects a lot. So
Okay.
this is actually I read this book called Restful Sleep by Deepak Chopra.
Okay, yeah.
So Deepak Chopra is an Ayurvedic practitioner.
Yeah.
He is also this league wherein he has gone in the MBBS and all this kind of route, and he's practicing in
I,
America.
yeah.
Yeah, but then he is more of an Ayurvedic practice guy,
Mhm.
wherein he says that if you really go by Ayurveda, it's like Ayurveda is very strict. If there is sun in the sky, only then have your dinner. If the sun has gone set, don't have your dinner, because what it says is these five elements which we are made of. So the five elements so are sync with the sun. So once you start having your early dinner, what happens is the digestion is complete.
Okay. Okay.
And then once you go to sleep, then what happens is the energy of your system is not in digestion.
Mm-hmm.
So then the deep relaxation happens. So that is my take from whatever knowledge I have read from books and all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And coming to your second question, not only you, I have seen many questions in Quora also, like really asking. With this pandemic really hitting, we really don't know what is the difference between, okay, maybe working professionals is a different story, but the students really don't know what is, everything is online. So what is, and then your classes are online, your homeworks are online, and then your entertainment is online. So where is the split? They really don't know. So, so for example, when they went to school, they knew that, okay, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we are in school. And then 1 hour you'll work, I mean, do your homework and play for some time. But then if you're all the day in front of any device, like be it mobile, tablet, or TV or whatever, so they don't know like where to draw that split. So, and then like you told this scenario wherein people are taking their laptop and sitting on the bed and watching. नींद नहीं आ रही तो चलो Netflix देख लेते हैं, some or the other series, and then that is a feedback loop, that loop goes into an obsession. And then we see like, yeah, I'll really tell you a story which my counselor told me. He really gave me an analog really explained me with an analog.
Okay.
Assume that you have a cow which is milking 4 liters. Okay. You are able to extract 4 liters. Okay. For some reason, you wanted 5 liters, and then you started somehow pulling the cow, and then it obliged for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you got 5 liters, and then you got it for 2 to 3 days, and then now you are thinking that the cow is capable. Previously, it used to give 4 liters. Now it's giving 5 liters. So now you are thinking that 5 liters is the normal.
Okay.
Now you are not satisfied with 5 also. You start milking the cow so much that now you want 6 liters. Okay. Now see, it's after all a cow, and then it will push you to certain limit. But after that, it will even stop giving you any milk. It will give that thing will happen. So if you think that, okay, for some reason you went and then you're able to sustain for maybe 1 month or 2 months, you're able to sustain, even though you're doing these things like what you told, taking your laptop and sleeping, and then you're able to sustain. But then the first and foremost thing is life has to be in balance. Everything has to be in balance.
True.
Like your rest has to be in balance. Your activities has to be in balance. So you can't take some like for example, take your 8 hours of work and then you stretch it beyond 12 hours. So like I told already, there are no free lunches. Once you take your work beyond, or you take your entertainment beyond your sleeping time, so there will definitely be an effect. So you can simply say, as per Newton law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.
So is that when is the reaction happening? I think for body and mind, the reaction happens at a different time. But
yes.
unless they face that, they do not give that significance to their own life. That's what.
Yeah. So like this, it really happened in my case, wherein I went into an obsession. The period of 10:30 or maybe 11 o'clock is a period where I have to go to sleep. Okay. Where I have to go into deep relaxation. But then I was compensating with reading. Okay. So to be really honest, I started in October. November, really nothing happened. So I was thinking everything is normal, something is happening fine, everything, I'm able to work, I'm able to manage everything. So I thought everything is fine. But then sometime it will hit you. And believe me, it will hit very hard. So, and when you are in your youth, you think nothing will happen. But when something really goes wrong, that is when you realize what will really happen.
Absolutely, Manohar. Even I also faced and realized the same thing when life, had hit me very hard. When even I've shared my story in a lot of my sessions that back in 2011, same thing when we were in Delhi. Every day a little pain would be there in my back, you know, and then okay, fine, ये तो होता है, painkiller and all that. But gradually, eventually, if you do not take care of your inner child who's crying, looking for your help, and asking for attention, that I'm your fundamentals, please look at me. And then when I didn't look at it for a couple of years, uh, I landed up with the accident of disc prolapse. So I it's all the question here is like, it's always better for a person being a human, having a human mind, which is uh, an evolutionary mind, right? And it's always good to have an intelligence of when to stop and whatever
Yes,
things
correct.
that we do in our life. So very well said, Manohar. And so, what is unique about this book, which would help, and what kind of audience it would help? Like, do you think that it would help more of for the professionals, or or for the freshers, college, students, and what do you think that your these unique? What is that uniqueness, and to what audience that you have? You think that it would help them?
So, coming to my uniqueness, whatever I have written in my book, I have faced it, and there is nothing like I'm writing something from somewhere, something from somewhere. So, everything, whatever I have faced, I have written in this book. So, that is the first unique thing. Everything is my experience, and suppose I say something like suggest something, it's like I have tried it. It's not that I'm just giving something from somewhere. So without trying, I haven't given. So that is the first unique part about my book.
Mhm.
And then what was the other question? I forgot.
The other question is like, whom do you think it would, I mean, the target
Okay.
audience? Is it like
Okay.
you being a IT professional?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Have you kept in mind about your story and it
Yes.
would help maintain the work life balance in this work from home,
Okay.
pan-
So
yeah.
yeah, to be, uh, I think I feel everyone can read this book. There is nothing like, yeah, though I have not put any target, but I think I have seen many of my peers who have this thing wherein they don't have the balance between different areas of life. So sometimes they work beyond the 8 hours, beyond, sometimes they even do the 12 hours and those kinds of things. Nothing is happening, so let's do it. So I feel that they can read this book and then realize that what can really go wrong. Like you told your story wherein you ignored the slightest pain, and then with a painkiller. So if you keep giving a painkiller and if you keep just ignoring these things,
Hmm.
and then like you told, when it hits hard, you really can't take it. So yeah, so if you are really in a balance, uh, so I think anyone who thinks that something is really going off balance, I think they should read this book and then think think follow the practices which I'm suggesting, and then see what can really happen.
So here I would like to add to your point is like it's not only those people who have just entered to that space and struggling with should read this book. Even the people those who are all fine still can have this knowledge of reading this book and at least be prepared with your intelligence not to sip in and just be a little self-reflective and understand that okay, I'm entering the borderline now.
Okay.
And be a little more self-aware.
Okay.
So Manohar, can you just
Yeah, it's just I want to add here that there is a quote by Chanakya which says, "Learn from other mistakes because others' mistakes."
quickly?
Because if you end up doing all your mistake and learning from you, then your lifetime is not sufficient.
Absolutely.
So I just, in your sense, what I just like to add in that. So learn from my mistakes and then don't repeat that mistake. Make a new mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
2% agreed. Even I also, talk about my this disc prolapse, like how my journey from disc prolapse to your yoga practitioner. I said that you make your own mistake, but learn from others.
Yes. Correct.
So, what are those steps? If you can just put it in a 3, 4, 5 easy steps, a person would you would suggest or recommend for a person, um, if that person is in that zone of struggling and might have tried, something to maybe stopping of watching TV or any that kind of pattern, because your obsession was book reading. Other people's obsession could be
Correct.
anything, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They might have tried as well. They might have gone to a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I don't know. We don't know their stories. So, what are those little easy steps which you could just tell them or suggest them so that they can start taking the accountability and responsibility of their own life from there, and with your given easy steps they can come out of, start their journey at least towards recovery.
Okay, so the first and foremost thing I would suggest is meet a counselor. Like Prem Sai has offered life coaching for people, so meet her because she has seen so many people going through the mess, and then she knows how to come out. Okay, so meet people like Prem Sai. Uh, so they know because they have. So I think Prem Sai is doing this life coaching since the last 10 years. Prem Sai, if I'm not wrong.
15 years.
Yeah, 15 years. So even if you see one person per month she has met, this is a very lower estimate I'm saying. So 15 into 12, so she would have seen 200 cases at least of people who have really gone that path, gone down, and then are able to come into balance. Okay, so first thing I would suggest is meet people like Prem Sai who know what it takes. Okay, so they have met people, they have studied this thing, so don't have this stigma. So for example, I can tell you about a scenario wherein I know people who have this issue, but then they're reluctant to go to clinical psychology. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, so they think that this is kind of a social stigma. They think that are you really mad? I am not mental, I am fine. But then don't have that stigma, just be open, and then you will really find a lot of help. So like Steve Jobs said, ask. If you want to do something, first ask. So don't so I can tell you from my experience, whatever I have come till here, it's only because someone has guided me. Okay, so if you really see life, we are social beings, and then everyone, we are a society. You think that I'm an isolated guy, I really don't like being in crowd and all those things, but that doesn't work that way. So I was also an introvert, and then thinking that I don't think it will work that way. But then see, like Einstein said, if you keep doing the same thing, you'll get the same result. And then he says that insanity is doing the same thing again and again and expecting some different result. So the first thing I would suggest is meet people like Prem Sai or any other counselor. They really know, because they've seen a lot of people. Apart from that, what I'd really say is have a, okay, so for example, let's say you are trying this thing out. Okay, the most important thing from what I really came to know is persistence. Persistence is something which will really pay off. So
In
yeah, so yeah, in everything.
Yes.
So there is a very beautiful story called a bamboo story. I would urge people to read that. So the story goes something like this. So let's say a farmer has planted a bamboo seed, okay, and then he's planted some other seed, okay. So in the first year, you see nothing happens. There is no tangible result of really watering the plant and then doing something, okay. Second year also nothing happens. Till 5 years, actually nothing happens. You think that, array, you really wasted lot of thing. But then suddenly, if you see after 5 years, suddenly that bamboo tree grows like crazy. So it shoots up 80 feet, 90 feet above the ground. I think 80, 90 is an exaggeration, but it really shows a great growth. Okay. But then you really think, what is really happening? Did the plant really was in dormant state till this years and then it suddenly shooted up? But that's not the case. It was actually building the roots. Okay. It knows that once it really starts shooting up, without the roots, there is nothing. So if you started a practice and then don't see immediate result, don't just give up. Okay, so persistence is the
I
thing
think
which I would.
to go up, you have to first go down and work upon your fundamentals, and then
Yeah.
you're all set to go up and grow like
Yes.
crazy, like the bamboo tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And I
Yeah.
have seen there are many people, Manohar, they also label, labeling that I am a I like, for example, this insomnia itself, that I have a habit of sleeping late at night. Now see the
Yeah.
sentence that they are
Yeah. Yeah.
giving as an ingredient to their mind, and the mind takes that and makes a nice recipe for them.
Yeah. So yeah, I think in this labeling also there is a very good thing called as self-fulfilling prophecy. So this is called, so, or you can say, I think Prem Sai can explain more in detail what is a Pygmalion effect or something like that. So wherein you have that label what she's saying, like, I have a habit of sleeping late. Okay. And then anything that happens, you attach to that label.
Absolutely.
So for example, let's say that on Sunday you slept late. Okay, fine. Monday you slept late. Fine. Tuesday you went early to sleep, but you don't count that. On Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, everything that happens, you are attaching to that hook only. You want that label to be true. So they say that the the more you grow that seed, so this is a seed, so that label is also a seed which you are doing. So if you keep watering that seed, obviously that will only grow. And then again on top of it, once that grows, you again come to, that belief becomes like even more stronger, even more stronger. So just like that bamboo tree, that belief will also skyrocket. So that is.
Nicely explained, Manohar. Very nicely explained, and that's what we have. A lot of limiting beliefs. That's how we defend that, and that's
Yeah.
protect that also. We
Yeah.
take a lot of pride protecting that.
Correct, correct. Yeah. Yeah. And then once that limiting belief is broken, like uh, you are like shocked that why was I really thinking that way? So they say, right, पैर के नीचे जमीन खिसक गया. So something like that it happens. So you are nurturing that seed, and once that limiting belief goes, you really don't know what happens. So yeah, so people really who have limiting belief, the first thing is suggest meeting people like Prem Sai or any other person. Don't have that stigma that if whether these people will judge me or not. See, they are meant to do this. They for example, no one is here to judge you. Okay, so you may be going through a lot. So for example, Nelson Mandela, if you people know, he spent 27 years in jail.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when he came out, he left behind the past. Okay, so there are really miracles that can happen. And then the first thing is, like I told, an external force is really needed. Yeah, I'm not saying that without that external force nothing will happen, but then if you want acceleration in the process, an external force is definitely needed.
Yeah, that helps. And apart that, whoever is you think that that person can bring the best version of yourself, just open up with that particular person
Correct.
and
Correct.
seek help, because it's not that only a life skill coach can only help. Even whoever, maybe in your office premises, if you know
Correct.
someone who has overcome certain belief system or limiting belief, and may guide you. Yeah. And
Correct.
that's how see the life, in my opinion, Manor, life is not about just going to the office and coming back and
Correct.
getting married and then using. It's beyond that. And once you understand the significance of this, you will see that each and every day. I remember before this disc prolapse or during that disc prolapse, the suffering, and when you wake up in the morning, and I am sure that you will also resonate, when you're suffering with something, you how pathetic the morning becomes. Oh my
Mhm.
god, one more day to struggle, that kind of thinking comes to your mind. But then when you are all set and you know how to, then and you know that you know how to create that magic now, then
Mhm.
each and every single day is an opportunity. You feel like, oh my god, what all can I do today?
Correct.
Kind
Correct.
of feeling, or that kind of empowerment, you get it from within. So yeah, an
Yeah.
external factor is important, and at the same time you can they may help you, or they can help you to implant that seed within you, so that you
Correct.
can also one day inspire some other person like Manohar
Correct.
doing, by writing this book and helping. And I'm
Yeah.
really glad, Manohar, that you're volunteering, you're also mentoring people and helping others. Very few people have jumped into this particular zone of mentoring and volunteering, because we all give an excuse of the time kahan hai, right? So
Mhm.
2020 you have completed, you are planning to launch this book, uh, I think on the 1st of Jan.
Yeah.
What surprises are coming in 2021? What is that next limiting belief you're working on yourself, or or maybe something else that you have in your mind that is you would like to, that coming soon zone? What do you have?
Okay. Uh, Seriously, I haven't really thought a lot about it, but one thing is I'm planning to write more. So, like I've mentioned in my book that I invest into stock markets and that kind of thing. So, wherein like I feel like people really don't spend any time in studying finance, and then you learn, you strive to have money, but you don't study about money. So I'm planning to write something on that, and then plus on top of it, every day when my kid goes to sleep, I tell her some fantasy story, so some
Okay.
story which she enjoys, so she goes to sleep. So I'm planning to write a book on that also. So that is about
Bedtime stories.
yeah, bedtime stories. Yes.
Okay, great, great. So you spoke about finance. I always had this an idea about, because when we were growing, we were never told how to, same, what is
Mhm.
money is all about. And in your teenager, how do you perceive money? And if at all some pocket money is given, then how do you break it up into a little bit of saving, a little bit of spending, investment or so? And
Yeah.
and apart that, see, when if I tell my journey of in school and college days, those days, we were not that distracted from the with this lot of channels today.
Correct.
But
Correct.
today, my son is 12 years old, and I have seen people, those who are teenagers and all, they are in a fantasy world. And if you can, if you're planning to write something about finance, and as you said that to study about money, um, I would definitely, see you in a space where you can teach this, what do you say, or can write a book wherein this teenagers can read that particular book and understand about, because there's a right age to, because they're receptive at this age, and
Okay.
a right kind of fundamentals should go into their mind, so that they know how to deal with the money rather than the money dealing them.
Correct.
Eventually that happens, because everybody eyes goes up when we talk about money.
Correct.
Everybody wants to become rich and all that, but then
Correct.
how to look at it?
Correct.
No school, colleges, syllabus I have not seen
Correct.
who talks about this, that how to look at money, how to perceive this money, which is
Okay.
of the survival mode, not life itself. But then
Correct.
still it is
Correct.
very important, and how to perceive that. So I would definitely suggest you can think in this aspect
Yeah.
as well,
Sure. Sure.
and write something. And next time when we meet, we will launch that book as well. So connect with
Okay.
us to in this enhanced life skill platform.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much, Manohar, and
Yeah. The pleasure
be
was mine.
for your time, and to spend and share all these experiences that you went through, your sufferings, and the way you are today, and how you have recovered. And I think now you have a fantastic lifestyle of sleeping on time and diet and all. Like, how are you feeling today after going through all this suffering and successfully overcoming all this? A final to you.
Yeah. See, so, like I told this in my book, it's not that I am some kind of a sacrosanct wherein, like you told, doctor ko bukar nahi hota hai kya? So it doesn't mean that I don't have a day wherein I don't sleep. So I also have. So it's not that I have completely come out of the zone or something. So yeah, like life is unpredictable. So anything can happen. But yeah, so the thing I feel is, like I told, my intention behind writing this book is, yeah, like you also told, make a new mistake. So why are you making that same mistake which I made? So just go and enjoy your life and make a new mistake. So that is what I would say.
Okay, so taking each day as it comes, and then
Yes.
not again going to the same zone and repeating the same mistake. That's what
Yeah.
is all about, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, so thank you so much, Manohar, and I'll
Yeah.
be sharing the link of that particular book in this particular video, so that our viewers can directly. I think it would be there in the as an ebook.
Yeah, yes. I'm planning first an ebook, and then later I'll also release the paperback also. But initially it will be the ebook only.
Great. So we will share the link in the description box, and then so that our viewers can read about it, and whatever the impact they have, can share their experiences with us. And apart that, whoever is who they think that they need guidance, or they need a maybe a interaction, just an open talk. So please connect with us, maybe with Manohar. I think he can also guide you in a quite a better way, because he has gone through this one of the issue that is insomnia, and or to me. So write to us if you are facing with any such kind of challenges. We are always there to help you. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Manohar, to be here and sharing
The
your
pleasure was
you know
the pleasure was mine. I really had a very nice interaction, and yeah, like I told in the talk, don't hesitate to meet a counselor. So I'll just end with that, and all the best for everyone.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Manohar.
Yeah.